What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another Starfield build guide. Today we're going to be snapping together a Halo Scorpion style starship. So let me just break this down and we'll be right back to start the build. All right, before you begin this build, you're going to want to pick up your specialty parts from the vendors. Over at Teo Astroneering, we're going to be using the Shipbed 200 landing bay. And then from Hope Tech or Hope Town, New Homestead, you're going to want to grab the Nova Galactic NG-20 landing gears in the wide format. We're going to be using 6 of these, but you're going to want to buy at least 7 because we're going to be doing drop down glitch to get these to get 3 on top of 3. So you will need extras. So buy at least 7 of those. If you want to make it quick, just buy 9. Next, we are going to be using a lot of different habs on this build, which is pretty cool because you don't often get to use every single style hab in a build. This one uses all of them. We're using a Deimos Cargo Hall 3x3. We're using a Deimos Cargo Hall 3x2. We're also using the Mess Hall 3x2 from Deimos. We're using the Battle Stations 2x2 from Deimos. We're using the Brig 2x2 from Deimos. Over from Stroud Eklund, we're using the Living Quarters 2x2. And also we're using the Computer Core 2x2. So that's like all the 2x2s, all the 3x2s, and the 3x3 hab. That's pretty cool. You don't get to use that too often in a build. Everything else is going to be common parts available at your landing pad with Shipbuilder. We are going to be using the Cabot bridge on this one. And we're just going to be using some Supernova 220 engines on this build. So nothing special besides the habs, the landing gear, and your bay. Everything else will just be kind of normal parts. So once you got all those specialty parts, make your way over to your outpost landing pad with Shipbuilder. And you're going to start off by placing down your Deimos Cargo Hall 3x3. To the rear of that, go ahead and drop in a Deimos all-in-one berth 3x1. And then on the opposite end, place down a Deimos Engineering Bay, a 3x1. In the middle here, you could drop in 3 of your Nova Galactic NG-20 landing gear. And now what we're going to do is bring ourselves in a Deimos Hull A from your structural tab. And we're going to do our basic duplications. So you could grab all 3 of these in the top Deimos hull and duplicate them up. Now, if you only bought 6, you're not going to be able to duplicate these down because you can't add another duplicate if you only have 6. They're all already on the grid. So if you bought 7, you're going to duplicate these down one by one. So grab the bottom Deimos hull and duplicate it down. Now there's 7 on the map, so you would delete one and then do this one. And delete. If you bought 9, you could just select all 3 top ones and duplicate them all down at the same time. There we go. Now we got 6 landing gear. All right here. That's all the landing gear this thing needs to support itself. In the middle of your 3x3 cargo, go ahead and drop down your Shipbed 200 landing bay and make sure that the entrance is facing the 4. And then slap down a Deimos belly 4 on both sides of that. We'll get to weapons later. Okay, next, bring in your Cargo Hall 3x2s. So I'm going to place the Mess Hall or the Cargo Hall onto my port side. And now how we have this is we have one exposed spot right here, and 2 of them are connected. Okay. Then grab your Deimos mess hall and attach that to the other side. Then you're going to want to bring in a Deimos belly 4 and then duplicate that, and then select both of those and duplicate them, and then duplicate one and change it and flip it to the aft variant. Duplicate that, and then select both of those and duplicate those and bring them over to this side. Next, we'll do your 2x2 brig, and just connect that to the, line it up with the back of your 3x1s. And then grab your Deimos battle stations 2x2 and connect that on the opposite side. Bring in a Deimos belly, duplicate it, place it here, select both, duplicate them, and place them here. Now you could just select all 4 of these and just duplicate them and bring them over here. Okay. So should be looking at something like that. Next, bring in a Shroud Cap A, port 4 top, duplicate it and flip it, and snap it to this other side. Make sure you're flipping it the right way. And then bring in a Shroud Nose Cap B and place that right in between your 2 Shroud Cap A's. And next you're going to bring in some Deimos 2x1s. Now, anything that you guys want. What I'm using here is I got a workshop, an infirmary, an armory, and a science lab. Okay, you could put any order any way you want these 2x2s. It's not going to really affect anything. And then I'm going to bring in 2 more Deimos all-in-one 3x1s. So I have an all-in-one 3x1 here, and then I just duplicate it and put it over here. Next, grab a Shroud Companionway 1x1 and place it in this little gap. All right, now for our living quarters. We're going to put our 2x1 living quarters right here on this side. It's at the back of your 3x2, leaving a little bit of room in the front. Okay, then bring in your Shroud Computer Core 2x2 and place that on the port side, same position. Then bring in a Shroud Nose Cap 2B and attach that to the front right here. Duplicate that, place it right here, duplicate it again, place it right here, duplicate it again, place it right there. Next, bring in some Deimos cowlings and flip it to the aft position. And we're just going to duplicate it and put it next door to it. Duplicate both of these and place them here. And then duplicate all 4 of these and put them all the way here in the back. Next, grab yourself a Shroud mid-bracer and place that right here. Duplicate it, fill this gap, select both, duplicate, put them on the opposite side. And that's our second tier completed. For the third tier, bring in a Hope Tech Cap A4 and place that on top of the Cap 2B. And then you could duplicate it and change the variant to the mid and place it right behind it, and then duplicate that and change the variant to the rear and place that right here. Then you're going to want to select all three of these, duplicate them, and bring them to the other side. And then select both of your cap A's, duplicate them, and bring them to the rear. And select both of your cap A afts, duplicate those, and bring those to the rear. Next, grab yourself a Hope Tech Pipes 4, duplicate it, flip it to the aft position, and snap it right here. And then select both of these and duplicate them and bring them to the other side. All right, and that's that. All right, go ahead and bring in another 2x1. I'm going to be using another workshop. I know I already have a workshop here, but you know, we got so many halves, it doesn't really matter at this point. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to just merge our grav drives and our shields all together with our fuel tank and the reactor. So we got reactor, fuel, and a companionway. All right, so how we're going to do this is just go ahead and duplicate up your companionway. And then grab your two Deimos holes and just kind of put them in a little bit better position to work with. So I'm going to put mine right here. I'm going to duplicate both of those, and I'm going to now put them right here. Now what I want to do is get all of these inside of this. So let me bring one more of these up actually. First thing I'm going to do is just place my shield right there. And I'm just using the Vanguard Bulwark shield. And then we're going to bring in our reactor and attach that to the top two Deimos holes. And then we're just going to duplicate it down twice. So duplicate it once and then select the bottom one and the bottom Deimos hole. And oh, we have too many modules. So why don't I have everything on the grid already. So I'm going to just delete some parts real quick. I'm just going to delete these so I could just duplicate them in a minute. Okay. Now, select your bottom reactor and your bottom Deimos hole and duplicate down. Now that puts the reactor inside the cap A. And then you can delete these top two reactors. And then go ahead and bring in your grav drive and place that above. Place that above your reactor. Duplicate that down twice. There's once. Select the bottom reactor and the bottom Deimos hole and duplicate them again. Now you can delete the top two grav drives and these bottom two Deimos holes. And we're going to do that one more time with our fuel. So let's select our fuel in the bottom Deimos hole and duplicate down. And then select the fuel in the bottom Deimos hole and duplicate down. Now we can delete these top two fuel tanks and all three of these. And now we have this nice little tidy package right here. Next, go ahead and bring in another 2x2. I'm using captain's quarters in this case. And then bring in another 3x1. Place that at the back. Oh, wait. Sorry, guys. This does not go here. Let me back up. All right, let's finish off this top part first. Go ahead and bring in your shroud cap companionway, one more of these, and then duplicate that down into your grav drive, and then you could delete this top one. And then grab your 2x1 captain's quarters and attach that right here. Okay. Now go ahead and grab, what are we using here? We're using 2 Deimos 3x1 all-in-one bursts. Go ahead and attach one here, duplicate it, and bring it to the other side. And then you could bring in a Shroud Cowling 3LA. Go ahead and duplicate that, flip it, and snap it to the other side. And then you could bring in your Chabot cockpit bridge and attach that right here. And then go ahead and delete, or not delete, go ahead and duplicate your Shroud nose cap B. And duplicate that 3 times and just place those on the grid. And then move them into place here. They should snap in. And then just flip it twice and cancel. And then just repeat with each of these. Flip twice, cancel. Flip twice, cancel. And that's how that layer is going to look. All right, now I could bring in some engines. And I'm going to bring in and use a Supernova 2200 here, and right there. All right, now for the fun part, the cannon. So we're going to bring in a Shroud 2x1. I'm using an all-in-one berth and a Nova engine struts. Then you could bring in a Nova Cowling 1L. And then just duplicate it and flip it to the other side. And then duplicate, change the variant to the PA. And then duplicate that, flip it, and attach that to the other side. Okay? Next, you could bring in a Shroud companionway and place it at the front of your all-in-one berth, and then duplicate that to put one above it. And now you could duplicate your engine and attach that right there. Actually, no, you can't. Bring it up one spot. Put your engine at the top right there. And then you're going to duplicate it down. And then you can delete the top one. Okay? And I'm going to just go ahead and put in my painted one. Alrighty. Almost finished here. All right, so bring out a Deimos belly in the 4 variant and attach that to the bottom companionway. And then on top of that, you're going to put a equipment plate, or a HopeTech Riser B, rather. Then you could bring in some HopeTech Pipes A in the mid. They should snap right here, and you're just going to change the variant to the B, and then change it back and click Cancel. And now we want to duplicate this companionway up, and then attach in a shroud braking engine onto that. And then go ahead and delete this companionway. And duplicate the Hope pipes and bring one forward. And now we're going to drop this engine, braking engine, down. So if you duplicate it, it won't drop down. So you want to select that and a bottom Deimos hole and get a down duplication. And now you can delete this. And then go ahead and bring in an extender port 200 Docker top and attach that right here. And now you just want to duplicate 3 more of these. So there's 1, 2, 3. And then bring in a HopeTech thruster. Attach that right there in the front. Select both of these, duplicate them up. Swing around to the other side. Select both of those and duplicate them up. I'm going to paint these all black on the top. Like that. And that's basically your build, folks. So all you want to do now is add in your weapons. Let me go ahead and put back these parts that I removed. Okay, so weapons are up to you. There's a lot of places to mount weapons. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to use MKE 9A Gauss guns. I'm going to use Atlee 280C missiles. And I'm also going to use Tatsu 501 EM suppressors. Now, this is weapons are completely up to you. The weapons that I had on here were weapons I used while I was ranking up my skills. So most likely I was using this Halo Scorpion when I was ranking up my EM weapon skill. So that's why I have 2 of these. These obviously are probably something you don't normally want. So what you want to do at this point is just decide what weapons you want, and then you can distribute them onto your ship accordingly. So in my case, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna put one gauss gun back here. I'm going to duplicate that and bring one to the other side. And then I want to bring in a Atlee missile launcher. I'm just going to attach that right here and duplicate that to the other side. Now, for these, I could have 3 of them, and for these, I could have 3 of them. So right here's my 2 extras, and then for these, I can only carry 2. Now, what I want to do is I want to put all of these together. I want all 4 of these on one equipment plate because we're starting to run out of parts we can use on this build. So I don't want to put down a bunch of equipment plates. And I also don't like my weapons all over the place showing everywhere. I like my weapons hidden, or at least to be displayed in a way that looks nice with the ship. So I'd rather not have 12 weapons showing all over the top of this thing. So I'm going to put a Deimos hole right here. And then I'm going to put my equipment plate on top. I'm going to delete the Deimos hole and duplicate the equipment plate down so that it's on top of my landing bay. Now I just have to duplicate these and drop them down. So for this one, I want 2. I'm going to put 1 on the bottom. I'll bring 1 up to the top. And I'm just going to duplicate that 1 down. Now delete this hole and delete this top suppressor. Okay. And now for these, I just have to duplicate them down 1 time. So let me put my missiles up here and duplicate it down, delete this hole, delete this missile, and then put my Gauss gun up there and duplicate that down. And now I could delete all of these, this Gauss gun and this equipment plate. And I just got to put my cap back. So let me duplicate a shroud nose cap, snap it into place, flip it twice, cancel. And then at this point, go ahead and just assign your weapons and give your ship a name. I called mine the Sherman. You can call it the Scorpion, Halo Scorpion. Call it a tank. Call it, whatever you want. It's up to you. Doesn't really matter. And after that, you should have a blue nominal check mark. And you're good to save this thing. So that's it, folks. The Halo Scorpion inspired starship in Starfield. I hope that this video helped you out in building this, or at least gave you some inspiration for building different starships. I do have a playlist on my channel. This is going to be the 17th build in the playlist. So go ahead and check out that playlist if you'd like to see more videos. A couple of them will pop up on the screen here right now. You can check those out. And if you appreciated the video, please, I'd appreciate a like. Thank you very much. We'll catch you on the next one. Till next time, everybody, peace out.